All right, let's take a look at that other trade today between the Celtics and the Houston Rockets this afternoon. Dennis Schröder, he's gone. Bruno, Fernando, and Enes are heading to Houston, while Daniel Theis, though, makes his return to Boston. Enes is expected to be waived as well. Daniel Theis being back in Boston, Scal, just kind of feels right.
It does.
How does he fit into what the Celtics are trying to build with their core?
All right, so with this whole thing that Ime's been doing lately defensively, bringing Rob Williams off the ball. And so I look at it like, well, that's phenomenal. And you want to continue to do that. Like, Rob doesn't guard fives when he's out there. So now you have Al Horford doing his job. Daniel Theis is like a little bit lesser version of Al Horford. And by the way, could have a better night on certain nights than Al Horford does. So it allows you to have an incredible amount of defensive versatility with this team. You can have a lineup with Al Horford, Theis. You can have Rob Williams, Theis. You can go what they currently do with the starters. Grant Williams could slide in there. So what Theis provides, he could be a five-man. He can be a rim runner. He can also stretch the floor. So he is the perfect five-man for what you need right now. There's probably, outside of guys who make $20 million, like the Draymond Greens of the world, Theis is a perfect fit for this. I think Brad Stevens knows it. Al Horford's going to enjoy having him here. I think Al Horford has been tremendous this year. I would love to see Al Horford's minutes around 22 to 25.
I was going to say, what does that mean for Al Horford with Daniel Theis coming into the mix?
It's great for him. Because, like, Al Horford should not have to play 32 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Like, and Daniel Theis can make up for that. The best version of Al, not just now, but throughout the entire playoffs, and maybe in the playoffs you play him a little bit more, but Ime has to feel like, dude, I feel comfortable having Theis and Rob Williams out there. He can stretch the floor. Defensively, he can move his feet. He could switch out. It is a perfect addition to this team, and I like what they have. Like, when you look at the bigs, besides not having a giant Robin Lopez type of guy out there to guard Embiid, I would feel comfortable in any other series outside of Philly right now.
Yeah, look, I love that they have familiarity with Theis. I think that's going to be good from the big man combinations you can deploy out there. To remember how good Jason Tatum was coming off those screens and him curling to the basket. I just think that the trade deadline is always tricky because you're usually getting guys that don't have a familiarity and asking them in within 28 games to figure it out. Well, Theis is going to step in and just have familiarity up and down this roster. He can just, you don't even have to you just plug and play. I know it's a new coach, but it's still going to be a lot of familiarity there. And I'm excited for Celtics Twitter because all the memes and pictures of Daniel Theis come back.
And we also knew that Dennis Schröder, his time in Boston, wouldn't be long on a one-year deal. Forsberg, I don't know, did the Celtics get enough for Dennis Schröder?
Oh, yeah.
Did they get enough?
So here's the thing. We were sitting here saying, well, are you going to settle for a second-round pick? Are you going to take, like, a wing that probably wouldn't have played? They got, like, a legitimate big man who, if Al Horford gets injured, can start if he needs to, who can pair with anybody. This is about as high-level a player as I would have thought they could get for Dennis Schröder, and my expectations were really low, and that was part of the reason I actually thought there was a chance they would hold on to him. But once Derek White came into the fold, it was clear they wanted to move on, and to get off Schröder, Bruno, and Enes, and be able to bring back a serviceable player, that to me is a home run deal.
Yeah, I don't understand how we got this deal done. Okay. In my world, with the Celtics getting Daniel Theis for Schröder and getting off of the other salary, Grand Slam? I mean, it's.
Do you think Brad was like, wait, you don't want any picks with this deal?
I kind of felt like.
He didn't even ask it all. He probably was like, I'm not going to say anything. I kind of felt
like, wait, that's all you want? All right. So, yeah, I think, if you sign Schröder, you get nothing. You didn't give up any assets to get Schröder. But then you come away with Daniel Theis, for that. That's huge for them. They couldn't have signed Daniel Theis last year. So this is I think this is an absolute home run.